We've been doing Genesis. Why did we do the overview of Genesis? Because we need a worldview, a biblical worldview. We're being inundated by critical theory, and it comes out in critical theory in gender, critical theory in finance, critical theory in race, and our world is so confused. Friends, I don't want you to be confused. That's why we studied the book of Genesis, did that overview so that you would have that. If you missed any of it, go back and view all of those, watch all of those. Why? Because you've got to think right. Otherwise, you and I will be just as deceived, just as deluded, just as unhinged, crazy as we see what's happening in the world. This next book, the book of Exodus, Genesis, Exodus, right, is God calling the people of Israel to freedom. And this is such an important book because we're going to find out that God does some great things of delivering his people, the people of Israel, out of slavery. For 420 years they've been slaves. He's going to lead them out. He's going to bless them. He's going to bring them into freedom. And he's going to tell us why he does it. Over and over in the book it says, these things I'm going to do so that you will know that I am God and there is no one else. And so what I want you to walk away with from this study when we're done is there's no one like our God. That's going to be the overarching theme that you and I should grasp as we see the book of Exodus. But there's going to be sub-things that you learn in this book. For example, living by faith under tyranny. You say, is that important? We live in America. Well, I don't know if you watched this week, but our president was talking about vaccine mandates. Now, whether you've been vaccinated or not, or whatever your views are, it's not really so important to me at this moment. What's really important to me is understanding how tyranny works and freedom works. And the president said this is not talking about this vaccine mandate. So you have a company, now the company is going to be charged $14,000 a day for every individual that's not vaccinated. So now you become an enforcer of the laws that they can't put on us, but we can make the laws in our company because and then we're going to be penalized if we don't do. I'm just telling you, this is not about freedom or personal choice, but about protecting yourself. That was his view. Well, ACLU just said the week before, far from compromising them, civil liberties, vaccine mandate actually furthers civil liberties. Now, I'm not very smart, but that brownie has something cooked into it. You know what a smart man said? And I give you the whole history of this background. You can go back and study it. The colonies, the U.S., America, was a colony of this thing called England, Great Britain. Again, they don't teach this in school, I know nowadays, but we were a colony. And so, in other words, they ruled and we served. And as this became more and more corrupt, and the American colonists said, this can't go on forever. Wars are not good. Civil wars, revolutions are not good. They're not safe. It's horrible. But there comes a point. And so they sent Benjamin Franklin, some others, as delegates to talk to the Crown about 17 issues. And the Crown would not embrace those essential liberties, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So Franklin responds, says, those who give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety. In other words, we're going to acquiesce to the crown because that's safer. Deserve neither and will lose both. That is a really good statement. Why study history? So we don't repeat the same mistakes and so we do the right things that other great people have done. How many of you have done something really good? Go ahead, you can be humble and raise your hand. We've all done something, and you want your kids to repeat that, right? And you don't want your kids to repeat I won't ask you to raise your hand if you did anything foolish. But we don't want our kids to repeat those things. That's why we study history. Learn from my successes, learn from my failures. That's why we study history. So the study in Exodus is really important. Next week, make sure you read Exodus 1 through 3. We'll see the tyranny. We're going to see their faith. They're going to see how God ends up intervening. We're going to see how waiting on God is a faith deal and doing what's right is a faith deal, and in the midst of tyranny. It's really an important study.